We are live and recording.
Okay, there we go. Hope I don't mess this up. I'm Liz Staubach, the chair of the City of Albany IDA. I'll note that we have a quorum. Everyone except for Anthony Gaddy is in attendance. So we will get this started. I will ask for a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. We will move on to the report of the Chief Financial Officer. You're handling that today.
I will be handling that. Thank you. In your packets is a copy of the June 2022 cash position, and we are in very good shape. Total revenue for actual revenue for the month was $3,500, and total expenditures was $108,000. And we are on track in terms of the budget, as we covered at the last Finance Committee meeting.
Any questions for Tom? All right. There is, moving on, there is no unfinished business, which is cool. For the new business, Laughlin Dawn LLC.
Sure, I'll take
Overview.
this one. This project that has a request in front of us today was originally approved by the agency in 2018. It was about a $50 million project that consisted of the new construction of multiple structures over about 6.5 acres, containing about 252 residential apartment units, which I think totaled over 400,000 square feet, and parking for 300 vehicles. The request in front of the board today is for a consent to mortgage. It is an administrative request in nature. The project beneficiary is not requesting any additional benefits, namely mortgage recording tax. And also we have a representative here with us today, Jesse, that can answer any further questions.
I don't really have any. This is almost we're required to do this because of we help to greenlight the project.
It's an administrative action.
Yeah,
Right.
Required by the documents.
Yeah.
And Laughlin Dawn is up on, is it Fuller Road? Yeah. For those listening at home, I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There we go. The next is the
Thanks for
item.
stopping now.
Next item on the agenda is the conversation we just had on the project evaluation and assistance framework update for WZHA LLC. Is there anything you guys want to add? Or?
No, it's just an approval for a contract of up to $40,000 for WCHA LLC.
And we'd note that this did have a positive recommendation in our previous finance meetings, just 30 seconds ago.
Aye. 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Forgot that the recording stops. I thought it was just, everyone obviously is binge watching this. So,
Well, in that case, I'll move this one.
I'll second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. And next, we're going to be going into executive session.
Yes, the next item on the agenda is the Liberty Park matter, and Chair, I would suggest that we entertain a motion to go into executive session because it involves litigation and the acquisition of real estate, purchase price of which would be affected by our discussion in open session.
Can I get a motion?
So we need a motion for that, thank you, Chair.
So move. Oh.
No. I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
We'll be next one.
just, oh, sorry. That's right.
For the screen. We know. Don't know it.
Stop yelling.
Okay.
We're good? Great.
Oh, see Darius.
He's in the restroom.
So happy.
He's good.
Right, we need 4.
There he is.
Still 12:52.
All right, so we're back live and we're back in the meeting. There was a motion to leave executive session and come back to our regular session. CAC staff did step out and recuse themselves during at the very beginning when we opened this section of the meeting. They're back. And we're back to, and I'm sorry, the last piece of housekeeping is that no action was taken during executive session. So back to you, Chair.
All right, thanks, Joe. We're gonna move on to other business with the agency updates.
Fantastic, and we're going to start with the project update presentation. We mentioned last month that we had a really exciting one on the Livingston Apartments, and Emma is going to walk us through that.
So the Livingston Apartments was approved by the board in 2013 as a reuse of the Philip Livingston Magnet Academy, one of the former middle schools in the City of Albany School District. The building had been vacant for 3 years before Wing Company's converted structure into 103 affordable senior residential rental units. The apartments are a mix of studios, 1 bedrooms, and 2 bedrooms with approximately 150 residents living in the building. All households fall below either the 50%, 60%, or 90% of average median income for the city. And approximately half of the households use Section 8 mobile vouchers. The majority of residents are long-term residents of the city or the neighborhood. The apartments are in pretty high demand, and the property manager reported that there's an average waitlist time of 2.5 years to get into these apartments. Residents have access to several community spaces. So here we have, starting on the left, we've got a large community room. We've got a library and then a computer lab that they call the Brain Gym. The management partners with LifePath, so they provide meals to residents 3 times a week, as well as cooking classes and other programs for the senior residents. Somewhere between 1/3 and 1/2 of the residents have lived there since the apartments opened in 2015, which adds to the community feel. Any questions? It looks great. It's well maintained. It's a really exciting project. I think the IDA should be pretty proud that we were part of making this happen.
Fantastic. Yeah, it really is incredible, especially as a reuse of a vacant historic building. The fact that when we've all been in it recently, it looks exactly the same as it did when the board approved it and it was under construction. The maintenance and operations have really held up. So, all right, moving on, I'm going to swing into less good news. First, we do have a board staff position open. I want to brief the board that Erin Grace, her last day was last week. So we are on the hunt for an executive assistant. If you know of anyone who would make a great executive assistant, please forward those along. And so bear with us a little bit as we are executive assistant lists. And so if you haven't noticed that yet, that is due to all of the hard work of Emma and Andy in particular and Tom and trying to keep this moving forward. But thanks for that. And so again, if you've got any ideal candidates, let us know. That position is open currently. In further open position news, as I sent around this morning, there were 2 applicants for the 2 open board seats. Those interviews are scheduled for Monday, August 8th at the Housing, Community, and Economic Development Committee meeting at the council. Liz and I have been invited to attend. Currently, I can't make that date. I didn't check before. I'm going to try. If I can't make it, Tom's going to pinch hit for me. So we'll have representatives there, and we do have the letter that you all have composed to be able to send over to them.
You know what time the meeting is? 5:30 or is it?
It's at 5:30. The first interview is at 5:40. The second is at 5:55, and that's via Zoom. It'll be live streamed on the council's social media channels. Speaking of the council, Andy's underway already with the annual update to the Common Council, reporting on our activities from last year. Given that all of the sort of year-end reports, our Paris report is complete, the Comptroller's Office report is complete. We'll have that data into them to be able to help them, maybe even in time for the interviews, to be able to really give the council a sense of sort of what we've been up to. Not that they don't know, they get everything anyway, but just that nice snapshot of where we are to help in their search. The two candidates, the resume, I circulated the resumes to everyone. They look excellent on paper, so I'm excited to hear how those interviews go. Questions on that process in particular?
Were there only the 2 applicants?
As far as I know.
Makes a decision process much
I
easier.
We shall see. So yeah, again, we've got a couple of weeks. Typically the council's process has been very quick following the interviews, and so we may probably not for our August meetings, although maybe, but I would imagine certainly for our September meetings, we'll have 1 or more new faces around the table. That is it that I have for the agency update.
Thank you. Any questions for Sarah? Turn it over to Tom for compliance.
Sure. So every year, the Office of State Comptroller issues a report on IDAs looking at Paris data that's submitted to them. And the last report that just recently came out was looking at fiscal year 2020, and we just wanted to share a couple of the highlights from that. The first one is supported city projects in total were valued at $953 million, which is 23% greater than the average total investment created by IDAs statewide, excluding New York City. Regarding payment in lieu of taxes for the year, the City of Albany IDA facilitated $4.5 million of payments from projects to local taxing jurisdictions. And on a per project level, the City of Albany IDA's project exemptions are around 155,000, which is about 58,000 less per project compared to the statewide average. That's about 27% lower than the average exemption per project on the statewide level, again, excluding New York City. Neg tax exemptions were 58% lower per job gained than the average for IDAs statewide. This is without negatively impacting job creation numbers. And estimated net job changes from the IDA supported projects were shown to have a net job change of around 1,400 rather, which is nearly 19% higher than the average for IDA statewide. And last, the City of Albany IDA also ranked favorably when measuring efficiency in both expenses per job gained and expenses per project. The IDA performed more efficiently with lower expenses than the statewide average per job and per project respectively. Thank you.
Thank you. Those are great numbers.
Great. Well,
So as we do every year, we have a press release, Mike's prepared a press release that has those results. That'll be up on the website. We'll also circulate that as well to our phenomenal local media outlets on that. But we'd love to get good news. So that'll be out there. In addition to the Comptroller's report, the ABO has issued a report on public authorities as well. We're working through that. We do have a meeting coming up with council to go over a number of the points that are brought out in that report from that agency, and we'll bring back, as I had mentioned at the last meeting, we'll bring back some recommendations on implementing either best practices or any other enhancements that we may want to make based on the report.
Okay. Thank you. That was really good. You should scream in those numbers out. Yeah, right? A little more enthusiasm, Tom. Any other questions for Tom on the compliance? Okay. Anything else anyone wants to talk about?
We talk about your need to eat lunch, so I'll make an emotion to adjourn.
I got a motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.